How's it going, everybody? And welcome to the shop. Thanks for stopping in. I'm going to start a new series about what's going on in the shop. It'll be semi-weekly. I don't want to make any promises. Anyway, I figure I could just give a little update on what's going on in the shop or what's happened in the shop in the last week or so. And that way I can keep you guys updated more frequently here on YouTube. So buckle up, we're going to get right into it. So one of the big things that happened last week was the addition of air filtration here in the shop. While dust collection has been improved drastically over the last year for me, air filtration of very fine particles has been lax. So this right here is going to help kind of keep the air clean of particles you can't see and keep them out of my lungs, which is really, really good. Something else that I did last week was I converted this dresser, which was formerly an Art Deco style, which, if you know me, is definitely my aesthetic. Anyway, what I did is I took some maple plywood, double layered it on top, and then I removed the semi-opaque acrylic drawer fronts and added these 3/4 inch plywood drawer fronts that I made from what was left over from this sheet. And then I just added some basic black drawer pulls and made a base and some casters so that it sits nice and high. So now it's a usable workspace as well as giving me plenty of storage. So another project that's kind of in the works right now is something that someone asked me to make last year, and that is a baseball bat holder that also can hold baseballs on top. So basically what we have here is a board that'll rest against the wall, and what I'll do is I'll put like a mirror holder so that it can hold all the weight. And then on here, I've got to spread out dowels in the right width, the right distance from each other, so that baseball bats can actually hang down. And then the part of the grip, part of the handle, I don't even know what the term is called, the very end of the handle of the bat sits on the dowels. So I'm going to have it so that 3 bats can sit on here, hang freely. That's going to require me to drill at an angle so that the dowels, if you look at it from the side, and we'll pretend that this pencil is a dowel, instead of the dowel sticking straight out, I need it to come up at an angle so that the bat doesn't like shimmy its way off in the middle of the night and drop to the floor and scare everyone half to death. So that's got to be something that I got to figure out. I think I have an idea of how that's going to work, and I'm going to show that to you in a minute. Now, this is the top shelf, which I have pre-drilled for 1/2 inch with a 1/2 inch Forstner bit, and that's going to be screwed to the backer board, and then I will plug these with mahogany plugs, just, you know, because why not? And this will all be attached nice and tight, and then I'll finish it in something nice and durable, either several coats of Armor Seal, or I'll just go with my current standby, which is Total Boats Halcyon. Haven't decided yet. So that's what I'm working on. I may actually do a little bit of work on this in this video right now. Alright, so here's what we actually have. I ended up taking this little piece of plywood here, flipping it on in, and brad nailing some 1/4 inch poplar on this side and on this side. And what that does is it helps me to keep it square to the back of the drill press table. Then I simply line it up like that with the hole locations, clamp it down, and then I can safely drill the hole. So I've got 4 out of the 6. Let's get the other 2 done. I think I got it secured well enough. Make sure I'm good and flush against the fence. Check that. All right. Yep. So we've got 6 holes, all drilled at what is hopefully the same angle. At least I hope it is. All right, so I want to cut all of my dowels to the same length. So I'm going to use this small parts sled from Rockler. And then first of all, I'm going to break this down into a smaller piece, and then I'm going to use a stop block held in place with a clamp, and I'll use that, and I'll reference the dowel material up against the block, so I'll be able to get a repeatable cut. But first of all, we'll break it down to a smaller piece, and then we'll start cutting. Now what I want to do is I want to make my dowels 2.5 inches long, so there'll be about a 1/2 inch inside the backboard and then 2 inches protruding out of the backboard. So using my stop block here, aiming it up with the kerf of the blade, getting it somewhat accurate. You know what, actually I'm going to make it 2 5/8 just because I feel like it. Alright, I'm good with that. This is going to get clamped into place. Alright, I'm going to check this measurement once more just to make sure I'm not losing my mind. Alright, yep, I'm good with that. So now I can start to cut these dowels down to 2 5/8. So now we have 6 dowels, which should protrude at a nice angle. And I think we've done it. Anyway, I'll be gluing these on after I do all my sanding, of course, and I'm probably going to break these edges just lightly. But yeah, this was probably the most complex part of the whole project. Alright, well, I think that's going to do it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this little sneak peek into what a night in the shop with me is like. So if you've enjoyed this, I hope that you're subscribed, hit that little bell, whatever. You don't have to if you don't want to. Anyway, check back in. I'll be doing these updates from time to time. Alright, good night.